12, one was 20-something. Look this up. And this was coming in all over the country. So I said alternative media. Alternative media nationally and internationally was covering it. It was in local papers, and it was in local press releases by universities and things. And the government said, don't worry, the EPA is going to raise the level, and so is the FDA, of what they say is safe in food and water. So both agencies, we made a big deal out of this because it's a big deal. I mean, I got children that live here in the Northern Hemisphere. We have double the radiation just from all the nuclear testing by the Russians, the Chinese, and the U.S. in the Northern Hemisphere than we did pre-1940s. Look that up. It was over double. Now it's close to triple just since Fukushima. And the trade winds and the jet stream all blow over here. And so 8 months ago, that started to break. We were fearmongers, of course, the establishment media said, but just because we had scientists on who had actually gone to Japan and were testing it and also gone to the West Coast. Because, again, those winds, both the trade winds near the ground and the jet stream up above, goes right over. In fact, it dumps in Japan, and then the next place it comes down is between New Mexico and Louisiana. New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana is where that particular coil of the jet stream comes right in. I mean, it's dumping some on the West Coast and Nevada, Arizona, but I mean, it's really lavishing me where I live. Just lavishing us with hot particles, plutonium that gets attached to small particuli. Even though it's a heavy isotope, it's going up there. You get one of those in your lung, bye-bye blackbird. You know, you're going to die in 20 years. You're going to die early. But hey, they're going to make money off of it, so what's the big deal? 9 out of 10 reactors are leaking. So then about 6 months ago, the reports come in. 8 months ago, 9 months ago, we first start getting reports of radiation, really being heavy. The media says it's fine, everything's great. The dinosaur, delusional Decepticon media who just thinks if they say it's fine, it's fine. Then about 6 months ago, the airline pilots start complaining their hair's falling out that fly out of Alaska, because guess where the winds, there's a particular stream of winds that are more trade winds down low. Guess where they hit first? If you look at the map, there's Japan. It's really pretty close to Alaska sticking up. The first water in the streams, in the tides, in the, what's the proper term? In the swirling motion of the ocean, in the direction that the oceans goes. It'll pop in my head in a minute. The standard term, everybody knows it out there listening. Well, no, I know what a whirlpool is. No, I mean, what's it called? Just like the winds go from east to west. No, not a vortex. It's all right. When we come back, I'll have it. The point is, it's just like there's patterns in wind, there's patterns in water. It's all gone up to Alaska. And the seals are dying, the people's hair is falling out, and the government just says everything's fine. We say radiation's good for you. We'll be right back with that because the tuna are now hitting California. Longevity products work for many others, and so I bought a bunch of them. Say what you want about Mr. Morrison, but he was an amazing poet, and he knew it. Hard to believe he died at 28, isn't it? Yep, drugs killed, including that heroin that our troops are forced to grow in Afghanistan and ship into the U.S. But, it's not patriotic to mention that. Just stick a Chinese-made flag from China on your car and say you're patriotic. And I'm not knocking people that do that, but, I mean, come on. Let's defend the actual Bill of Rights and Constitution that flag symbolizes. That's why we revere it. It represents the 13 colonies, represents the deep blue sky. It represents liberty and freedom. And we have now become the opposite of that in so many respects. We still have all this freedom and liberty in our past there, but running parallel is the globalist empire built on American ingenuity and energy, and I'm tired of it. I want to put a shout out before I get back into the news to just all of the incredible people that I talk to or that I have contact with in the media, you name it, that listen to this show. I am not worthy, as they say in Wayne's World. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. I mean, so many people get a little bit of media power, and it goes to their heads, and they just get crazy and arrogant. With me, it is the opposite. I understand this responsibility. But I want to give a little shout out to that particular person there in Florida in their little jungle compound listening to the show right now. Those were some nice words that that I was able to read, and thank you for all you do. Certainly back at you what you said. The other thing you said, absolutely back at you. Back at you. But think about this. The listeners, the activists that tune into Infowars, all of us, we are the people that are awake. We're the people that understand what's going on. We're the people that are informed. And I've come to the full conclusion the elite are insane. They're in control to a great extent. They're trying to get full control of the world out of their fear and out of their will to power. But who they need to get control of is themselves. The globalists want to control our every move and dumb us down so we're more manageable. But it just hits me more and more, an epiphany every 5 minutes, that the elite are out of control and insane. So it's true that they're not in control and that they're a bunch of crazies and that there's a lot of bureaucratic screw-ups. But they've got the money, the power, the endless social engineering systems, and they've just got their own inertia, like a giant cruise ship. You've already turned the engine off, but it's going to keep gliding a while, running over us, or a big edifice collapsing on us. Okay, it's collapsing, but we're under it. So they are organizing things, but it's easy for them to organize things because all they do is screw things up. So it's a mix of things, but to realize that we're it. In the new media, in the alternative media, the true diversity of ideas, the discussions, that system that's growing through the internet, the old guard coming in trying to curtail that and shut it down, that's not going to work. We're going into incredible times. Anybody that says they're bored or, oh, life is just boring, and what are they thinking? The universe of ideas and information and developments and the crazy stuff going on and the beautiful things happening and the ugly things happening and the amazing things happening and the scientific discoveries. And now they're saying the zombie man in South Beach on the new South Beach diet. Sorry to say that, but that's what the joke's going around. It's terrible. I didn't make it up. Was on bath salts now and had a chemical imbalance with another naked guy. And all I said is the footage doesn't show what they say it does. We should question it. And they're like, don't question the system. Just believe whatever they say. Like the cop shooting the guy in the back at the train station when he's on the ground in handcuffs, and then later saying he wasn't in handcuffs and it attacked him. They confiscate all the citizens' cameras, but one person's hiding in a train before it pulls out and gets it. People are like, don't say the cop really shot him on purpose. You're an anti-cop liar. No, when I've been lied to millions of times, I mean, literally, there's thousands of governments in this country, tens of thousands worldwide. They're all constantly lying. That's millions of lies. I stop believing liars, even when they're telling the truth, because you don't know they're telling the truth. And that's why societies fall, is because the trust is lost. And the system thinks they're going to use a police state. By the way, we found the term. It's ocean currents carrying the blue tuna filled with radiation to your lunch tables. We're going to be covering that when we come back. Then Bilderberg, drone shot down in Texas, video at Infowars.com.
We're on the march. The empire's on the
countdown to Bilderberg 2012. I'm Alex Jones, your host. The Infowars Command Center is en route and about to touch down. The Patriots are now orbiting the enemy command center and are preparing to set down and expose these criminal roaches, these international money changers. It's T-minus 24 hours until we're in. And you're going to see 4 days of continual coverage at Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.tv. All right, I've already done the customary 30-minute rant. I want to open the phones up for any subjects you want to discuss after I get into some of this news here, but the toll-free number to join us on this Tuesday edition is 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. Again, 800-259-9231 is the toll-free number to join us. And I'm here in a hotel room in Roanoke, Virginia, and my producer, on-the-road producer, Richard Reeves, I told him, you've got to go take a nap. You keep staying up till 2, 3 in the morning getting everything ready. We didn't get in until about 2 o'clock last night. You got to go take a nap, because I can operate without sleep. You can't drive the big, giant 45-foot jalopy bus. I love that bus. It's like 12 years old, but it's awesome. It's as big as they get, too. I said, you got to get some sleep here, pal. I know he's listening right now on the bus, and I'm telling you, you'd never do what I tell you to do. Okay, you get some rest there, pal. Or I'll drive. I know I drive sometimes, but he's formerly a professional driver. It's better than when I'm driving that thing, because when we get into a highway situation, there's an 18-wheeler right there, and they're doing construction, and they've got those highway. Let me tell you, that is threading the needle. It's not like landing on an aircraft carrier at night or anything. Not that humans will be doing that soon. It's all going to be drones as we're taken out of the equation. That's coming up later, some technology news. The third Industrial Revolution 14-page special report out of The Economist, the same globalist publication that tells us we're lucky to have the oligarch bankers that created the derivatives fraud taking over Europe. They're called technocrats now. But this is all about nanotech and how it's starting with the 3D printers. So we're going to be breaking that down. There was a report a few months ago, a scientific report came out. Infowars.com reported on it, so did National News, that most people are now, when they're doing autopsies, they're finding nanotech in the brain. It's in a lot of processed foods manufacturing, little machines, and it's going right through the blood-brain barrier and is hurting you even worse than aluminum cans or even worse than fluoride. And see, that's why the globalists don't think it matters soon. I mean, they have a death lust or something. Oh, radiation's good. Oh, 9 out of 10 reactors are leaking one way or the other. We're not going to even fix the old ones, having their walls eaten by radiation. We're going to keep the old 40-year design. Oh, we're going to build more of the old design. Yeah, meltdowns are good now. Remember when Mombiot, the big globalist, came out in The Guardian and said, I like radiation now. I think Fukushima makes me like it. That was the headline. Well, I want more. And they all giggled and said, population, bye-bye, bye-bye, fertility, bye-bye. It's like that guy on the McLaughlin report, bye-bye. People think I interrupt on the show. That guy's the king of interrupting. What do you think about this? Well, I think, oh, that's good. Let's go to the next person. By the way, it's a meme by trolls that say I interrupt. What I do is I interject in a ham-fisted way. I'm not good at it, because I get so excited about it. It's not that I even want to dominate conversation. I just get excited about the topics. That's why the show's popular. The information's important, but I'm also excited. I've analyzed that. But you watch Fox News or CNN, they're interrupting on those shows about every 30 seconds. My guest, I've timed it, on average, talk about 3 minutes. But again, you can't argue with success. The point is, I'm going to interrupt it even more if I want to, especially when somebody gets off the reservation and gets off a topic. But getting back to nanotech, we warned you about nanotech polluting things, just all different sorts of it, in the packaging of your food, in the TV dinners, in products you're using. It's going through your skin. It's going into everything. All the neurological disorders, cancer, you know the drill. It's all going what? Straight up on the graph. It's not going like that, like it's been for 50, 60 years. Now it's going straight up like a Saturn rocket, like Dragon X, the new corporate private technology. See, they use our tax money to build the corporatist system. 90% of space flight, roughly, has been secret anyway since the beginning. Now they just get rid of the old Tinker Toy and say, you don't worry about manned space flight anymore. It's all